I didn't want to make a video about this really. I had an entirely different upload plan today, but then I got on my phone and like I was getting more into the coverage of the way that this has been like treated, and I don't agree. I don't agree. I mean, what happened was a horrible thing. Let's just go right into it. So Rampage Jackson's son, Roger Jackson, was at this wrestling event. He was he had like they were just memeing, right? It's a pro wrestling show. They were memeing. And so Rampage Jackson, let me give you some context before we actually go back through this, okay? So Rampage Jackson, he went to a wrestling event, and like they brought a camera crew out, so they saw that like he was getting a lot of press. One of the wrestlers there, Syko Stuart Smith, I think is his name. He like crushed like a prop can over his head, like a prop beer can, and like it just kind of crunched. And then Rampage Jackson's son was like, "Oh hell nah," and so they like shook up and stuff. This is the video of it happening, and then apparently he was promised retribution, whatever you want to make of that. At the event, they said they could go in there and like rough up Psycho Stu for whatever he had done. And Rampage Jackson's son Raja went entirely too far, and it's like towing the line of attempted murder, which is like, we'll call it what it is. It's at least attempted murder. So yeah, gets a can crushed over his head. And then he goes inside of the ring while he's doing the wrestling show. High crotches this man. This is a pure act of rage. Here, let me actually mute up so I don't get... And then it just like absolutely wails on him. Like, this is horrible stuff here. Horrible. Like 22 shots this unconscious man's head, and then they jump on him. Which, like, delayed reaction, yeah, but like... There's also videos of him, like, crashing out after the fact. He's just tweaking. He's angry. Yelling at his phone. His shirt is covered in blood. He's tweaking, bro. This is clear mental health stuff happening here. This guy is a head case. I'm not sure if it's been inherited from his father. He's tweaking. He's talking about he's tired of everyone playing with him. Just moments, like, days ago, he had been spinning head kicked by... Here, let's pull up that video. At the Antonio McKee training facility, I know a fighter. His name is Tony Cortez. He's fighting on August 30th. Literally this, what is it, this Friday? This Saturday? Yeah, this Saturday he's going to be fighting. And he trains at this facility. Raja Jackson brings a camera in there and he sets it up and he spars with some guy, and look at what they did to him. I mean, yeah, that just kind of happens if you bring a camera into a training facility. I mean, they're going to style on you, or they're going to try to, like, highlight reel you. And so that guy, he threw a tornado kick, which he had no business throwing, and it landed flush on Raja. And he took a that's a concussion right there. He's literally concussed. He's under, like, concussion protocol right now as we speak. This guy's talking about...
I'm gonna stand up for my fucking self, because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
That's mental health. Mental health. Whether it's onset by the impact... or whether or not he's just an angry person, and he has been because of just his brain chemistry. I don't like the way that this was covered by particularly MMAGURU. He is an English bloke, so he doesn't understand American racism as it takes place over here. I'm not even the guy who usually likes to play the race card. This will be the first time that I even mention blackness or the concept of like race on my channel. Listen to the way that he describes the, like, the unfolding of this event. I just don't agree. I don't agree.
Ed. He chose instead, because he's not a human like the rest of us, and he's not evolved like the rest of us in his dumb animal brain, he chose to do this instead.
He called him like a dumb, unevolved animal. Like a non-human, unevolved animal. Those are literally like his repeated phrasing. My tweet blew up to a viral trend, getting a lot of backlash for being anti-black after calling Raja a dumb animal with no impulse control. Not just a dumb animal, a dumb unevolved animal. And you know that like a racial slur for black people is monkey and ape and like chimp and gorilla, denoting that like they haven't evolved yet. So like this is very angled rhetoric in my opinion. And look at how many views this video has. This video has so many goddamn views 200,000 views in 6 hours. So this is who's breaking it. This is literally like the most prolific coverage of the event. And it's this guy making sure that everyone is on the same page. Raja Jackson is a dumb, unevolved animal. And it's like, even if you don't mean it like that, the fucking comment section means it like that. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that too. I left a comment even, and I said, dumb, unevolved animal in parentheses is pretty nuts, even if you don't mean it like that. The rest of the viewers and commenters are definitely using that phrasing as confirmation bias to be racist, and that's true. That is an irrefutable fact of this whole thing. Is Raja Jackson wrong? Yes, of course he's wrong. Yeah, very wrong. And should he go to jail? Yeah, probably. He should definitely go to jail for this. If that was your father, your uncle, your brother, your cousin, you would want there to be some type of retribution. But what is the point of adding the theatrics to this by calling him a dumb, unevolved animal? Other than just to let your own personal bias conflate this story and make it into something that it's not. And then you literally do that, and then you say, well, that's not what I intended with my words. He had said, like, my tweet on this blew up to a viral level, getting a lot of backlash. And yeah, Rampage Jackson is a dumb animal with no impulse control. Stuart Smith is a war veteran who has seen horrors enough to give him PTSD, yet he still has more emotional control than Raja, the son of a millionaire. With the door to a successful streaming career open for him, I take nothing back at all. It's genuinely concerning that there are barely evolved humans like Raja walking around society ready to attempt something like this over a mild inconvenience or misunderstanding. What do you mean by that, bro? Like, what do you mean by that? I feel like that is so, like, that's mad racist. I'm sorry. And I'm not even the guy who's normally throwing around the R word like this, but, like, barely evolved humans like Raja walking around like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? We don't need to tolerate dumb animals like Raja. I've been a viewer of MMAGURU for a long time. I've never heard him describe any other people like this, other than Raja Jackson as like a first-hand account that I can give. They need to evolve into humans. It's 2025. Evolve. Society is being filled with unevolved, dumb humans while smart people do not have any children. This is a problem. So, I mean, like, again, what is he really trying to say here? Is this like some type... I don't even want to use the words that are popular on the internet, but it just seems like he sounds like a racist incel. That's what he sounds like. You're crying over, like, not being able to have kids. These points, how are they connected? I watched the Gerber Johnson video this morning, bro. I know about this whole black pill, like, I get it. I'm kind of on board with it too, bro. But it's like, what place does this phrasing have whenever we're dealing with general bad things that take place in our society? Unevolved animals. Why can't they just be bad humans? And just to call them that. Or this is just an objectively evil thing that you've done. Why does it have to be a reflection of you being an unevolved human and that there's other unevolved humans that are like participating in these base behaviors? Which, I mean, dude, if you look at all of these crimes, attempted murder, stealing, rape even, they've been committed for millions of years. Since the beginning of human history, we've been encountering the same crimes being committed. So no matter how evolved we get, the laws will stay consistent because the same crimes are going to be committed. And you literally calling these people dumb, unevolved humans is just you weighing in with your own biases. And that just kind of makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Not to the same level as watching this act be committed, but knowing that there are such things as like black fatigue going on in America where people are getting tired of black people in general and the biases that come with that. People just inherently hate black people now because they've like made it up in their head that we're all criminals and we're all murderers and our music glorifies murder and brutality and stealing, and that's just like what represents our entire culture. Raja Jackson isn't doing anything to help this perception, but you're definitely not MMAGURU by stoking the fire and making this community that I love more hateful towards people who look like me. People are talking about dog whistles. That's like a political term that was used during the Obama administration to like discuss subvert racism. How it's like racism and subtext. And it's like a dog whistle where it's like only certain people can hear it. This guy's acknowledging that he definitely threw in some dog whistles, but we don't blame you, Guru. It's who you are. So it's like, what are we doing? What is this community? What's happened to the game I love? If Guru was racist, he wouldn't have a monthly show with a literal black man, would he? The Raja mentality is absolutely incompatible with civilized society. Well, if I was racist, I'm not racist. I have like 6 black friends. What do you mean, bro? Like, when has that ever been sound reasoning that checks out? Yeah, you wouldn't have called him a dumb, unevolved animal if he wasn't black. Not condoning Raja's actions at all. No sound of reason human being would ever condone the actions of Raja Jackson in that wrestling ring. He deserves to be imprisoned for attempted murder, yes. But don't ignore the blatant racism. This is definite dog whistling, Guru. You didn't call McGregor an unevolved animal that should be in a cage. Awful crime by Raja, but don't play innocent, Guru. My goodness. Conor McGregor, he's hitting old men in bars and knocking them out stiff. That guy is old. He could have an aneurysm. You could have killed him very well in that moment. That could have been attempted murder. At the very least, it was assault, which is the same crime that Raja Jackson has been accused of. Conor McGregor has R-worded a woman, and that boy, MMAGURU, is covering these events with like a smile on his face and laughing at him and being like, "Oh, it's just McGregor." Wow, look at him. He's losing it. He's not a dumb, unevolved animal at that point. And these are like some of the most base and devoid of humanity crimes that we can commit as people. And they're being completely evaluated on different levels here. Because Raja's black. I don't know what else there is to say about it. It's so easy for him to say dumb, unevolved animal towards Raja Jackson. But whenever we are calling a spade in the terms of like Conor McGregor, right? Completely different phrasing. It's completely different. Bro, that shit is crazy to me. This entire video is crazy to me. And it's just fucked on both sides, bro. The coverage of this situation and the fact that it happened in general is just fucked. Like, it's all fucked. And like, oh my god. This community has some serious problems, dude. It really does. This community has some serious issues. And that's not to say that like he should have to walk on eggshells whenever he's like talking on his channel, but he should understand like one, his fan base and who these people are and how they could easily misconstrue a message of you saying this guy is an unevolved animal with black skin, and then also just knowing like how that sounds in general. I mean, again, he's a Brit, so he doesn't understand like how deep like the layers go of this, but. And obviously, like, the Twitter guys, right? Twitter is, like, one of the most unsufferable online communities ever. It's just like Threads on Instagram. Both of those platforms fucking suck, right? And so for them to tell you that you're being racist, like, that's not really going to do much to affect you. Because they're not going to come with facts. You're just going to come with, like, ad hominem attacks on your character. So for him to have doubled down as many times as he did, it's kind of understandable. Because it's those guys telling you that what you're doing is wrong. And, like, they're fucked up, too. And this guy is talking about, I love how the anti-racists hear the word animal applied to humans and just assume that it means black. They're my favorite racists. It's just what I've said before. He's never used that terminology for anyone else who wasn't black. And he's talking about a black person right now. So I'm not really sure what that guy's point was. That still got like 2,000 likes. It's just so much confirmation bias happening here. Where it's like, no, I'm not racist. We're just talking about this guy being bad. And I'm just going to use racist terms to describe his actions being bad. And like, that's just it. That's it. I'm not actually racist. It's not the main talking point being racism anyways. Like, this guy's talking about how, like, that's attempted murder. It's the coverage of the event. If we just would have gone on here and just said, look, man, this guy literally tried to kill this human. Everyone is on the same page that this is fucking bad, bro. Nobody's ever going to be like, yo, that's racist. The fact that you think that it's attempted murder, it's recorded in 8K. It's whenever you interject your fucking personal biases into this shit is whenever it gets to be an issue, dude. Because clearly there's angled rhetoric here. There's something about these unevolved, well, however you've characterized this larger group of unevolved humans, you don't like them. And the fact that you've asserted in the comment that there's more like Raja, what do they look like? How do you identify them past them committing these types of actions? And will you keep it consistent whenever another instance of gross, egregious violence happens in this community by calling them unevolved animals? Dumb animal is 100% accurate by John Custom Saws. I mean, bro, and I'm not even trying to like race bait either and be like, oh yeah, well he's white and he's, but it's like, dude, you know that not everybody is coming at this from a place of like non-racism. A lot of people are very racist, bro. Race is it's a real thing, dude. Race is a real thing. And it's not about that black people are blindly sticking up for Raja and calling Guru racist. It's just the phrasing again. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, man. And he sounds racist in his recount of this event and the way that he's covering it as well. And that's why it's getting so much traction, is because it's controversial. It's racy to talk about this type of thing the way that he's talking about it. And he can because he's not American. He doesn't have the full context. I'm not sure if he moderated the comment, but I saw something before and it was like 13% of wizards cast 60% of spells. As a white male who identifies as a black man, I would 100% agree with Guru here. And again, I'm not even going to show the video again. Like, I don't even like... It's horrible. I hope that the veteran is okay. I want him to be fine. There should be justice that's served for Raja. But it should be on the basis of the fact that he did something bad. A crime against humanity. He could have taken that man's life. I think that they have reported that Syko Stu is stable at this point. Let's see. Yeah, so I wanted to confirm that Syko Stu, he's awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the... I mean, he's like kind of making it out for his son. But it's like, bro, like... It's such a fucked situation. If that was your own flesh and blood, you would probably try to give him an out too. And that he doesn't deserve one at all. Because, again, it's attempted murder. But, I mean, that's a father. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Just throw your son under the bus? People are going to be critical of him no matter what he chooses to do in the situation. And Rampage Jackson himself said that his main concern is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. And he apologizes on his behalf and to the promotion that hosts the streams that he and his son does as well. Kick is honestly going through it because there was a French guy who just died too because he did like a subathon and people were abusing him and he passed away in his sleep. And like Drake and Aiden Ross are going to pay for that funeral and stuff. But it's like, dude, the internet just loves to pile on. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. Again, horrible thing that happened. There should be some type of like retribution that Roger Jackson owes to this entire situation because he messed up so badly. But let's not make it into something that it's not by the way that we're talking about it. It was a horrible thing that happened. A crime that was committed by a high-profile figure within the MMA community, the son of a beloved fighter. A dumb, unevolved animal is the interjection of personal biases into the situation. And that's not calling a spade a spade. That's calling a spade what you see the spade as. And that's my point here. I don't know. I love this community. I love MMA so much, but sometimes it really does just try my patience. As far as like the things that I see and like, especially whenever it comes to matters of like justice within the community. And how we perceive like justice, because there's just so many personal biases that are always being like pushed through the messages and the reporting of these events as well. I feel like nobody can just remain objective. It's so hard to do that for people in general. We see that just in the news, the mainstream news, the way it's covered. But with this, it's even worse. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I'm not sure how many people are gonna agree with it, how many people are gonna unsubscribe because I feel this way, but I don't really fucking care. Just like he doesn't fucking care about calling them dumb, unevolved animals. I think that calling a guy who just did something objectively wrong that for the fact that he did something wrong instead of just addressing like the matter at hand, I think that's also a wrong thing to do. So that's my standpoint here. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.